Yo, we need to get R.Kelly out of here.
I ain't gonna lie. It may be time to get R.Kelly the fuck out of here. Like, keeping it all the way 1,000.
Yo.
Do you see this buffoonery that he's spewing out to the people, to the masses?
Oh, man. I'm going to keep my thoughts. But before we even get there, let's just get to our introduction. Hey, everyone, my name is Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm Brandon Killabh Hall.
And once again, you're listening and watching another episode of Grassroots Podcast. We're going to get into it. We're going to get deep into discussions today. Yeah. We have some really, really great topics.
Yeah.
But before we even get to R.Kelly, I'm going to say that for a little later on. Ava DuVernay. So Ava DuVernay, she had... There's an article recently that came out that talked about how she got a call from a friend, and essentially that friend was like, yo, there are some dudes, there's some directors and people in the Writers Guild, men more specifically, that are upset with the fact that you have an all-female cast for Queen Sugar. And she basically said they can take those comments and shove it up their asses and come with a lawsuit, and she's going to counter that lawsuit for all the times women were kept off of staff and director staff for shows and movies and stuff.
It's interesting. It's interesting, right? So prior to this, do we even do pre-production? No, right? But whatever. In pre-production, that's what we were doing. We were watching this old Dame Dash interview.
By putting your own money up and investing in yourself. That's it. You flip. And getting a good woman and stop trusting dudes and stop worrying about other people's pockets and what other people have and what other people can do for you. And 9-to-5s aren't good because you hustling for a weekend.
Which I love, the Breakfast Club interview. And he said something that me and my man Werm thought was like the go-to statement. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should know this. He said, having women around is, they watch your back. They keep you safe and sane, and you don't have to really worry about. I mean, that's why I got you. I be knowing. So he said that. And me and Werm was like, duh, like, that's an obvious thing. So just for me, I would think that more people would start to realize that women do have value. While, they aren't given their proper respect for whatever reason, there are a lot of powerful and successful women in entertainment and just across the board that fucking can contribute to some shit.
My thing with this situation, it was kind of like the same situation with white staffmen that were trying to sue Diddy. It's like,
that was pretty funny though.
it's like when you have industries that are predominantly male and also even predominantly white to a certain extent, it's just kind of like the one time that the specific minorities or women have an opportunity that they might not have gotten before, and you're having a problem saying that's discrimination. Like, get out of here. It's one freaking show.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? There have been plenty of times where women were kept off and even minorities were kept off of certain shows. Like, that is some bullshit. I ain't got time for your wineries and tears, those fake ass tears. No one has time for that.
Take us to
church. No one has time for that. And I'm happy she clapped back at them because she basically was like, cool, you're mad about this? Well, let me pull out the 20 to 30 other times where you guys kept women out and minorities out, and we're going to go to court with this and see who wins. That is her OG status right there.
Well,
OG.
The other thing, too, though, that people don't ever really factor in, this helps her. Like, all this negative press and her standing up for, selecting her own castmates and wanting to run a business, predominantly women, that's a good thing. And I think more people will now support her for her taking that stance, and for the derelict that wanted to, make comments about her even doing something like that. Yeah. Like, it doesn't work in your favor when it comes to things like this. Like, it's just not smart.
And it kind of goes back to, like, certain people, not all, but certain individuals were like, well, if you don't like the way that things are, then do it yourself. Now that she's doing it herself, you're going to have a problem with that? Come on.
It's one of those things. You can't please everyone, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm very big, and I think everyone in this room is very big on doing it our way. Like, even the show that we have, and we do it our way for a reason. A lot of people, they talk about how we conduct our interviews, or, you should have asked this. Well, guess what? I didn't want to ask that question. How about that?
Today I wanted cereal instead of eggs.
Yeah, today I wanted a fucking sandwich and not a bagel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have their own quirks and how they want to do things, and I just think that look at the finished product first before you start judging.
And Queen Sugar is actually really good. It's a really good show.
I've never seen it, but
yeah, you should definitely get it.
Now I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious. So shout out to Ava DuVernay.
And also, it's kind of hard too. Like, you're going after Ava, who is becoming one of the most influential and pivotal directors in the movie scene now, along with like Ryan Coogler. Like, you're like, she's at an all-time high, and she's only going farther up. So for you to go and attack her, it's like, are you coming at it from, oh, this is discrimination? Or are you coming at it from like a jealousy standpoint?
It could be a little bit of both.
Or even a racial standpoint or a sexist standpoint. There's so many, but it's just kind of like, of all the people, I personally don't understand like why you're attacking her specifically when there are other people that are doing in their eyes, are doing way worse than what she's doing. All she's doing is providing opportunities for women and even women of color to get into this industry, because there is kind of a lack of women in certain positions, especially in director positions. And as someone who started later on in her years doing film, like, I think this is great. And it's not like she's doing it for every single movie, for every single thing from what I've seen. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. She's only doing it for Queen Sugar. So I'm just like, and I believe Queen Sugar, someone can correct me. It's on OWN, isn't it? Isn't it on Oprah's thing?
I believe so. I think so. I don't really know. I haven't seen it. But my question is, do you think that she's being attacked out of their ignorance of not knowing all that she's contributed to just film and just entrepreneurship, things of that nature? Because that could be a form of hate too. A lot of people, you know, when it's one of those things where you tell someone your dreams and they say, oh, yeah, like, oh, I'm going to be a rapper. Yeah, good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? Then when you become the rapper, it's like, oh, well, your songs aren't top 100 yet. So they'll find a reason to still negatively say something, even as you're, you know, being successful, or even as you're trying to, you know, reach a different level. So I kind of feel like it's one of those things that people may not be privy to how much she's contributed to just the business of entertainment as a whole. And because this is such a monumental thing that's happening, you got to attack it.
And I did look it up. It is on OWN. So think about it. You're on a network owned by a woman, Oprah, a black woman. Yeah. And people are having problems because she's having more women a part of a show that's on a network owned by a woman. Like, doesn't that sound stupid to you?
Yeah. Hey, look, check out. Newsflash.
That sounds stupid. Like, you're mad because it's more women on a show that is on a network owned by a woman, and you're having a problem.
Newsflash, people. Women are way more thorough than men. This is a fact. Okay? Men do not cross their T's and dot the I's. They only just cross the T. They don't even remember that the I is there. I say that to say, start bringing more women into your organizations. You will elevate. That is my fact of the day. Women are inclined to think differently and have an innate ability to make sure that you are okay. A lot of people don't take that into consideration. That's from a business and home and personal aspect. People do these things. And I think that it does you no justice to then kick down someone, you know, or for their sex, or it just doesn't make sense.
And also, PSA, people get mad nowadays for no goddamn reason. Like, they just get mad for the purpose of just getting mad. Like, a lot of times, I mean, we see it on social media too. They're getting mad with no factuals, you know, circumstances behind it. And that's why, like, with this situation, I'm just kind of like, really? Like, you guys are really mad because she's doing this? It's not like, you know, and it's one show. It's not like she's doing it for everything. And like, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. But it's just like, because she's developing an opportunity on one show doesn't mean that she's not hiring men and other stuff.
But let's say she did do it for multiple shows. So what? So what?
She's the one that's directing.
Yes, it's her show. She's the boss. She can do whatever she wants. Like,
and who's not to say that Oprah had a little bit of a say too?
Do you think he's mad because he applied for a job and didn't get it?
I think it's the same. It's kind of I can't even talk. Same situation as like the Diddy thing with the white employees. Yeah. Claiming discrimination. It's like, what?
Well, that I think if I'm keeping it a buck, I think he was just shooting a shot to try to get a check. I don't really think he had a case there, or he felt like, hey, I can really win this one, guys. Let's take this back for the people. I think he just was trying to shoot a shot to say, all right, let me try to get a check. Because that was during the time where everyone was getting a check for something. When it came to sexual assault, like, oh, he brushed past me in the hallway, sexual assault. He said something to me, that was racism. So it was during that time where checks were flying left and right, and you didn't know who was what and what was happening.
I mean, I was at Revolt when that situation happened, and I mean, there's more to it, but obviously I'm not going to say. But even still, it's
tell us more, Erin.
Nah. I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys off camera. But essentially, it's just like it's a situation where it's just kind of like, you know, the one really great thing about Revolt was that a lot of the people there are minorities, and then there's also a lot of women there. And I know, like, in other circumstances, and I've worked for other companies where, like, I was the minority, and that was the first time that I was the majority, and that felt great. Yeah. But I just, like I said, I think it just goes back to, like, what you said about people trying to get checks, but then also, like, people getting mad for no reason. Like, I just don't, but not even saying no reason, but like I do partially feel like it's stemmed within jealousy, because Ava DuVernay is winning. Yeah. She is winning right now. And there are probably some dudes that have been there longer and are like, well, I've been doing this for X amount of years and she's getting this, that, the third. And then so then they concoct some sort of feelings or reasons for why they should be upset about something that's so minute and their claims are stupid. And it's just kind of like, come on. Like, really?
Was this a white person or a black person?
That is a good question. It's a man. It says man.
It's a man, but what's his ethnicity?
Yeah, it doesn't really say.
That's what I want to know. If he's a white guy or a black guy, that's going to tell the story on all I need to know about this.
Oh, wait, we got to welcome him. He just came in like the inner voice.
Word. He came in like the conscious. Like,
came in like Morgan Freeman.
Word. He just narrated, tell us about who this gentleman is.
I just want to know what's his race.
Yeah, so that was Werm. I had a better introduction for you. Oh. But you fucked it up, so that's
Sorry,
Werm, guys. Thanks.
Hey, guys, it's Werm.
It just says male directors, but, you know, I mean, we can kind of...
You think this is a white guy or a black guy?
I mean, there's...
Let's take it from both sides of the fence. If he was a brother, what would be your response to this?
Jealousy. I still think it's jealousy. For me, no matter what.
Yeah, for me personally, it's never about race. It's about the act, right? So if it was fucking black, Korean, whatever, it's still a point of trying to suppress women for no reason. That's just my thought process. Like, I don't really get into that unless you try to get into the shits. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get into it.
Yeah.
Well,
if he's a white guy, then this would be a much more serious conversation.
It's a deeper, there's more, it's a deeper context to it. I think no matter what, white or black, it's still a jealousy thing that's contributed to it. I personally think it's a jealousy thing. But if it's white, then like you said, it's deeper. And I'm not saying this from like, because I'm black or whatever, but I feel like more than likely they are white, just because in terms of like, I have a family member who is a director and her husband's director, producer in Hollywood. And there's a lot more white directors when it comes to bigger films than black. Mm-hmm. And that's a fact. Statistically, that's a fact. So I just think that it could possibly be a white man saying this. But if it is a black one, I still think that's a problem.
For me,
definitely some hater shit if it's a black guy.
Yeah, it's definitely jealousy, hating shit.
Yeah, either way I look at it as hate. Like, for me, for this particular situation, race don't really matter to me. I'm just talking about basic principle.
Yeah.
Basic principle. You're hating on someone for creating or bringing life to a creation, then structuring it a certain way that they felt would be the most efficient, and you're judging them. Like, why?
Yeah. Without
any facts, without any real logic behind it, you're just openly just saying, yo, I don't like that you're doing that.
And you were mad at Ava, then be mad at Drake too.
Yeah.
And be mad at the other people that have had all female staff or anything like that. Like, don't just pick one person.
Like, no one's saying nothing about anyone else that's doing it. So I just think it shit is corny. It's whack. So
It is.
I don't know. Speaking of whack, back to our real topic at hand.
Back to back.
Let's get back to Aura. Aura.
Arr. Mute him.
I ain't gonna lie. Robert may have to get the fuck out of here.
Yo, what is with you guys calling Robert?
His name is Robert, man. I can't call. R.Kelly was TP2. You know what I mean? He was.
Don't even call him Kells.
Yeah,
no?
Kel. Yeah, nah, not right now.
Robert.
He's Robert. I gotta call him the government now. He's Robert.
Oh my God, it's Robert.
Robert is wilding, people. He really thinks that, like, the universe is against him and is trying to tarnish his image and his legacy. I don't even know how he said that with a straight face.
He wrote, "I believe I could fly."
And he's flying.
Yeah, he thought he could fly. He thought he could fly out of them cases.
He's flying off the fucking handle. That's what he's doing right now.
Thought he could fly out of them cases.
He's flying. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's doing some dumb shit. Honestly, did anyone in this room ever think that you would hear shit like this about R. Kelly? Like growing up, being ignorant to the business and music and now knowing all this. He wrote, I believed I could fly, man.
I don't know, because even back then, like rumors were starting to come about. It was just kind of like
there was always rumors.
When did the tape come out?
Everyone had a rumor.
When did the tape
that's a
come
good
out?
question. When did that?
I don't
tape come
know.
out? Hey, Chris, look that up.
But more importantly, his lawyer, assistant, and publicist quit following further sexual misconduct allegations. Is that not a red flag?
I don't.
Is that not a red flag? If all those people leave?
I don't know. Chris,
like,
hurry
that
up.
just me? Is that just me?
Hold on. I'm putting pressure on our intern. Hurry up, Chris. Get that goddamn shit.
Nah, Chris.
Goddamn.
All right, so 96. 96
He found
the
it.
tape came out.
I guess you can keep your job.
96, the tape came
All
out.
right, so 96, the tape comes out.
That's a long time we've been a fan of R. Kelly. He put out many albums and records after that tape, and we still rock with R. Kelly. So
that was 12 years.
I was gonna say. So when did the drop happen? Though? When did we start to say? Because it was before the sex cult shit. No, like we were already off R. Kelly at one point.
Who was off R. Kelly? I wasn't off R. Kelly. You was off R. Kelly?
Hold on, I gotta sit over here.
You was off R. Kelly after the tape? So you didn't listen to no R. Kelly records after the tape came out? That what you're saying?
It depends on what record.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
record came out after
I
that?
can't lie.
This was 96, so give me every record that came out for R. Kelly after
I
96.
can't
Hold on.
lie.
Chris.
I could probably say
Chris, find that now.
I could probably say that I haven't consistently listened
Come on
to
now,
R.
Step in the
Kelly.
Name of Love been out.
Well, no, I'm gonna say out of the three of us, I'm probably the one that didn't really listen to him that much because look at it, I was born in '92.
Yeah.
So,
but
like,
you
I
still
wasn't-
listen to R. Kelly records though.
No,
I
she
don't
wouldn't.
stream R. Kelly. Absolutely not.
So you
me
never
think.
listened to.
No.
I'm trying to think.
Also,
No, I
like
think I did.
it's based off like my mom. My mom never played R. Kelly. My mom did not care for R. Kelly.
That came out. That's
No, I didn't purposely play Ignition. They played it.
What year did I Believe I Could Fly came out?
98.
98. So you went
Oh
2
yeah,
years.
no.
Yeah. So your argument.
Yeah, no. I'm definitely. I'm definitely
96.
rolling. I'm definitely rolling with that. I'm still listening to R. Kelly.
So what? No.
I don't care. Judge me.
World's
Yeah,
greatest.
Yeah.
What
Step in the
happened?
Name of Love.
At that point,
mid
I'm-
2000s.
I wish.
No,
How
no,
many
I think mid 2000s.
How many episodes of Trapped in the Closet did you watch after you know that R. Kelly was a creep?
Or did BET force on you?
Yeah, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie.
BET forced that shit on all of us.
BET made a spectacle out of that one.
Yeah.
They turned that shit right into segments, and I was glued like it was fucking a sitcom.
Yeah,
trying to
I have
tell
to
you.
say, I would say the turn
Yeah.
of people's views of him, I think started in mid 2000s.
So 2000s, right?
2002.
I think mid 2000s when it started to kind of like, it's
Listen,
question. All these allegations started to come out.
When he came out on that interview at BET with Aaliyah, when they were wearing matching Mickey Mouse shirts, you remember that interview?
Yeah.
They were rocking the
Yeah, I ain't gonna
matching.
lie.
That wasn't suspect to you?
Yeah, that was suspect. Now I'm thinking about it. I
Yeah.
completely
Age ain't
forgot
nothing
about
but a
that.
number ain't suspect to you?
Well,
That-
I've always said that.
That new context though. Ooh.
Yeah, no, I've always said that
He
his
wrote and
music-
produced it.
Yeah, he's giving you jewels that he's into some gangster shit.
He's been showing his music. First of all,
he's
he
been-
did a whole music concept about you hiding in someone's closet. That in itself is questionable.
And now you want to be mad at Robert?
But if I'm
You can't
keeping
be
it
mad
up,
at Robert now.
oh no, I'm still mad at Robert. Okay, but I will say, while I thought that he went up on my serial killer list when that happened, you got to see the genius in how he writes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's genius. That whole in the closet whole thing that happened.
In the closet.
That was really a moment. Like, people were glued to first part, second part, third part. Oh my God, what's happening? And then you find out the guy's on some other shit. Huh?
Yeah, Ignition.
Well, no, Ignition. That was my. Is this a remix?
Ignition.
Damn, what happened to
Hot
Aura,
and fresh
man?
out the kitchen.
He just likes sex. He likes sex. That's what's wrong with R.
It's deeper than
No.
It's deeper.
There's a difference between liking sex and liking sex with little girls. Those are two different things.
I'm not
And
wrong.
liking sex so much that you have to start a sex cult.
Yeah, like that's a.
You gotta really like sex to start a sex cult.
No, I feel like it's past starting a sex cult. You have a problem. Like you need some help.
So,
I watched a documentary the other day on him as well. I can't think of what the name is. I can pull it up actually. You guys won't see it, but
Chris,
I'll pull it up. But it was a documentary where his friends were telling stories about how he had been maneuvering through the music industry and how he was. They got word of him kind of liking little girls and things like that, and then it got to the point where they felt uncomfortable being around him because it was evident that he started requesting young girls, like only young girls, like after clubs, after venues. He was like, "Oh no, make sure she's this." Like he started giving age criteria on the women that he wanted to come to the dressing room. I'm gonna show y'all.
He said she gotta be wearing something.
He knows the rules.
Lord, when that came out, I was like, "Oh man." Yeah.
Can you blame him for having this train of thought, knowing that we've given him a pass all these years since 1996?
I don't think
you think that he's.
Well, I don't think we ever gave him a pass. I think that with that whole sex tape that came out, it just to my knowledge, it was never proven that was really R. Kelly. No one. There's never been an undeniable. Point the finger moment and said, "Oh yeah, that's definitely R. Kelly." Like he's going to trial. He's had legal issues behind it, and I know he tried to say that it was his brother, which was wow. Hey Aura, listen, that was a bad idea. It wasn't your brother. But for argument's sake, it's never been proven that it was him. So I think generally speaking, people gave him somewhat of the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think he was able to kind of skate by for all of these years because you never really knew. But now with the sex cult and all this other shit, and then the allegations of, people trying to diminish his legacy, and you kind of looking a little crazy in the light, fam. Like you're doing too much. Robert got to chill.
Well, another thing too that's telling is that when you have people who are there to support you and help you and keep you safe, and they're starting to leave and distance themselves from you, that's a sign right there. When you have certain people just being like, nah, I'm not trying to associate with him, like that's when you start to think like, what is going on? And then it's kind of like with the Bill Cosby situation. It's just like when more and more and more allegations start coming out and you're starting to see like certain similarities with the allegations and things, and you start to have to question and be like, yo, like, you're having mad allegations coming out. Like, what the hell is with this?
It's starting to look bad just because for someone like R. Kelly, especially like me and you I grew up on his music. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was someone that I admired as an artist. And then when you start to see all these ugly little rumors come out, then you start to see tapes, then you start to see, all these just crazy allegations. It kind of makes you think like, damn, maybe.
Does greatness give you a pass?
In this society, yes, unfortunately.
Does greatness give you a pass?
It does in this society.
In some cases.
Well,
you can throw him in the OJ box. You can throw him in the Kanye West box. These are all people who have done phenomenal, great, amazing things in their life that has also been associated with some of the worst shit.
Yeah, but you don't always get a pass. Because if that's the case, Bill Cosby would get a pass. Mike Vick would have gotten a pass.
Michael Jackson
would have gotten a pass.
So it's if you're not black, you
Kobe
get a pass,
got a pass,
right? Well, Kobe's situation, it may not have been
Kobe
true.
settled in court. Kobe got a pass.
Yeah, but I'm saying
like with his situation though, they were like people were talking about how the woman might have lied.
It was still a rape charge.
Yeah, but he was
It was a rape charge.
He was never convicted. Number one, and while he settled in court, it's not a conviction. We're talking about like just straight conviction.
But it's still an attachment, something egregious as a rape charge.
But you know what's crazy? I don't think
that's a greatness
I don't think
pass.
I don't think it's attached anymore. Like, I mean, not attached like in the sense of it's not there anymore, but people really aren't talking about it.
But this is my point. I think that there's levels to these types of incidents happening, right? So let's go back to Kobe. Kobe was allegedly raped some girl, right? Mm-hmm. It was never proven. They had mad evidence showing that the girl was lying, but he settled in court. I think the only reason that people don't talk about it because, again, just like going back to R. Kelly and the original sex tape, it was never a defined moment where it was said to be 100% accurate and true. I think the moment things like that happen, like Bill Cosby, you're not giving him a pass. He was found guilty. There's a number of women that have provided proof, and he himself admitted to it. So it's one of those things where, now I'm looking crazy. I think the moment where you're actually 100% unequivocally guilty, that's when your legacy could either shift one way or go the other way. So that's why I think that's the only reason I think where Kobe, you don't hear about it just because it's like. It's never proven to be true. And a lot of people, not just...
He had a big old press conference, B, with his wife by his side, crying in the whole thing.
Yeah, but even but the difference with the press conference was he was pretty much saying, yo, I was fucking with the girl, but I didn't rape her. There's a big difference there. He's admitting his adultery. That's all that press conference is. It's him standing up to a podium saying, hey, look, I let the fans down. I let the Los Angeles Lakers organization down, let my teammates down, and most of all, I let my family down. I did have sexual relations with this woman, but I didn't rape her though. I didn't rape her.
So can you defend the R. Kelly pass that you've given him for however long it's been?
But I've never given him a pass though. That's what I'm saying. My point is, up until this point, I didn't even give him a pass. I was just never unsure. I'm never going to, just go full out and be like, yo, fam, you did that. I'm not fucking with you because it was never proven. This, for me...
Recent stuff, though.
Yeah, this recent stuff, I can't roll with you. I can't roll with you. I can't do it.
Do you think he can repair his image from where he is right now?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you guys and everyone in the room. What does R. Kelly at this point need to do? Now, mind you...
Because he hasn't been convicted of anything either.
True. But... the evidence is really compelling. It's really compelling. He hasn't been convicted to your point.
Still all allegations.
Well, this is my thing. I think, especially when it comes to famous black men, like the stigma is going to stick with you, whether it's true or not. Yeah. I just think that even if, and I'm not sitting here saying what is true or what is not, but this stigma is going to stay with him for a very long time. And it's going to stay with him until we figure out what the hell is actually happening. Like, what's the truth or not? Does that mean that he's going to be fully canceled out? I hate to say, but in this day and age of social media, like things and moments are just like a second, and then it's like everyone forgets, or everyone just like gives that pass back again. So I don't know how long this mute R. Kelly thing is going to even last. I mean, it was like a day on Twitter, but then it's just kind of like, okay, is anyone else saying anything? Did you stop playing his music on Spotify? Like, what are you doing specifically?
That's the thing now I think is interesting, right? So once the massives have now started this whole let's mute R. Kelly band or whatever you want to call it, a lot of people don't talk about him anymore, and I think that that's their way of suppressing R. Kelly. Because you don't talk about him, you don't have to really worry about it.
Well, he hasn't had a hit in a long time either.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still one of those legacy acts. Like,
so if he had hits, do you think that we would still be going about it this way? If he had hits after hits after hits and still was relevant in the music space more so than in this little children
Nah, if I'm keeping it 1,000, if R. Kelly has hits present day, I think more allegations are coming out, and I think more people would come out and talk about how fucked up R. Kelly is. And I think that 100% now taints your whole view of R. Kelly. And I think that then affects his sales and everything else.
But are you sure about that? Because look, for example, some people came out with allegations with Cosby, but because he was such a powerful man, they didn't really say anything until he is powerless.
Not true.
For certain.
Not true, because what happened with Cosby, it started to come out because he was negotiating a deal with NBC.
Yeah, but Cosby, you can't sit here and say that the same power influence that Cosby has now is the same as what it was when the Cosby Show came out. It's completely different. He was a very, you think about it, he was a very powerful man back then.
Yeah, you're right.
From his comedic stand-up shows to the Cosby Show, like the level of influence was not the same. If R. Kelly's level of influence, not saying that's the same as Cosby, but if he was making hits after hits after hits and still being super, super relevant in the music world at such a powerful level as per se maybe Cosby was back then, I don't think it would have gone the way it is now. It seems to be that when there's certain allegations towards like someone like him, it's usually like there's some that come out, but then the shitstorm happens once that person turns irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I personally think that the more successful you become, and just as of late, it seems like more and more allegations come out when the person that's being accused of something is doing something. So like Russell Simmons, he was trying to start up a foundation, allegations come out. Mm-hmm. Most recently, and I wanted to talk about this earlier, and it just popped into my head because of the whole shit. Did y'all see all the shit that's going on with Johnny Manziel?
No, what happened with Johnny now?
What happened?
So Johnny Manziel, you remember when he was alleged fighting or beating up his girlfriend or whatever?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Those pictures, I think he got acquitted or something. And for the listeners out there, don't kill me. I don't have all the facts around this, but I can give you the general information.
Oh yeah, it was released 2 days ago.
Correct.
TMZ.
A few days ago, they released the images of him beating up his significant other. And I don't know if they're still together or not, but they're not still together. Thanks, Chris.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the pictures of that came out. Now, mind you, he's been cleared of everything, and I guess they worked it all out. But I think he's trying to make a ploy back into the NFL, and they're saying that they were having an argument or debate. I'll say that they don't know whether if he goes back to the NFL, will he be held accountable for crimes for all this stuff that happened 2-3 years ago, or are they going to give him a free pass?
Well, I think right now he's looking to the possibilities of CFL and was it AAF?
Well, I heard
those two different leagues.
I heard the Browns were looking at him though, which I thought was interesting.
Man, fuck Johnny Manziel. I mean, this is just privilege at its finest. It's like him fucking up and then his parents paying it off with oil money. Fuck all of this shit.
Well, that was my segue. I just think that it's interesting that now all of this stuff has come out about Johnny Manziel, and they're just ready to throw him right back into the limelight. I just think it's interesting.
I mean, it's because he's going on the narrative of I'm a changed man. I got rehab. I'm better. It's kind of like that narrative. But then it kind of goes back to what we were talking about. You have someone like Michael Vick who still has the dogfighting stigma over his head no matter what he does, even if he's a changed man. But then someone like Johnny Manziel, it's like in certain people's eyes, oh, we forgive him.
Yeah.
You know? It's kind of like society, and I'm not even saying entirely from like a black and white. I mean, in certain situations it's like that, but I think that society just picks and chooses who they want to forgive and who they don't.
Yeah.
According to greatness.
Yeah. All right, so just because I wanted to conclude the R. Kelly, I didn't mean to detour us. What does R. Kelly need to do to get back in everyone's good graces?
Move to Mars.
Listen, make another 12 play, and then we good.
And get married to someone who's actually your age.
Yeah.
Kidding.
R. Kelly is cold. So
Kidding.
I don't even understand what's the big deal anyway. He ain't got no records out. He ain't doing shit that no one cares. Nobody care about. Come on, man. A sex cult. R. Kelly's bugging. A sex cult. And
First
we
of all,
care.
any cult. Any cult's crazy.
Any cult is crazy. But a sex cult? Yo, how do you even get into a sex cult?
Well,
How do you even go about creating one?
But not even you create
Well,
one.
there are secret societies. You
So
do realize that.
so do
like,
we
even in New York. Well, I think
Google sex cults. I want to be in a sex. What if I like sex and want to just be in a cult where I'm gonna get all this abundance of ass in here.
you gotta.
I got it. Craigslist.
Yo, y'all are
Craigslist.
stupid. Y'all are stupid. First off, I think the only way, and let me
Yeah, tell us how. Tell us more.
let me just give the
How do
disclaimer.
we?
Let me just give the disclaimer.
Tell us how we do it, Brandon.
I see what's gonna happen here. Let me just give the disclaimer.
Yeah, because I'm ready for this one.
I am not in a sex cult. I don't know anyone that is in a sex cult.
Allegedly.
Disclaimer
I am a born
pops
again
up.
virgin. But if you take off your ad blocker and search Google cults, you'll find it New York.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know people, I do know people that are in sex cults that
Do you get recruited into sex cults? Or you have to like the cult finds you. You don't find the cult.
Yeah, you got to know someone. It's a weird vibe. I just know that, and again, I'm not speaking firsthand. I just know someone that is in a sex cult.
I mean, it happens with all cults, though.
Yeah,
it's
but
the same way.
you're brought to different locations. Some here in the city. And
So do they have like pre-production too? Like they said, we're
no,
gonna map out all the fun sex cult shit we're gonna do today.
They give you a card. And you walk in,
PowerPoint presentation.
You all are
They give
in
out cards,
robes.
B?
They're
Tell me.
all in robes, and you guys are just walking around.
What kind of robes? Is it like Four Season robes or is this like choir robes?
I think it's silk.
Like what kind of robe?
Oh, I
Got
see
silk
what you
robe.
guys are doing. All right, I see what's happening here.
We just sent you up, B.
I don't care.
R.Kelly's a weirdo, whatever. Let's move on.
Listen,
Yeah.
either way,
Whatever.
it happens. So I think it's interesting.
Even though all these alleged stuff, it's just this is too much. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like at this point, it's like we
that's my
can't
only
we
thing.
can't ignore it.
And the only reason I feel a way about it, if I'm being honest, is just because he's black. Like it's happening too often where a bunch of black prominent figures that have paved the way and have contributed to the culture that I love, they now are just all these crazy allegations are coming out. And I think that's what's really doing it for me. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to stay at the height of their careers. Like, when shit happened with Michael Jackson, it's hurtful. Shit happens with R.Kelly, it's hurtful. Shit happens with Bill Cosby, it's hurtful. I just hate that now that, I guess us as a culture and as a society, we're being appreciated more and valued more. And now all these bad allegations that happen, now all these things that happen. So I just think it's unfortunate.
Just like Avengers did to Black Panther.
Oh man! All right, spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Just like how Avengers gentrified Wakanda. Is that what you want to? Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our spoiler alert. Now listen, if you have not seen, if you have not seen Avengers: Infinity War,
well,
Get off our platform.
sorry, we spoiling this shit. Everybody dies. Shit is crazy.
everybody dies. Thanos got all the jewels. It's over.
So listen,
I dead ass laughed at the end though, where Thanos was sitting there and it's like sitting with animals and shit on a farmland,
Listen,
and it's
yeah.
all green and stuff.
I
and
got
he's sitting there,
scared.
he's sitting there like reflecting his his midlife crisis moment or something.
Yo, number one, I think that they did an amazing job with Thanos. Like, his character is very intelligent, and if you follow the comic books, because I'm a nerd, they did him justice, right?
It's complex too.
Did you think that many people were gonna die in this movie? I had Captain America going. I had who else? I had Falcon going, and then I had Gamora going.
Yeah, I had.
That was it.
Really? I didn't think Captain America was, just because, like I said, like the movies are really centered around him and Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I felt like those two needed to be alive because we still have other movies. Like we still are going to have Ant-Man and
And the Wasp.
And the Wasp, because we need to know where the fuck was Ant-Man through all this. He was not there.
Well, that was the other thing I thought was interesting, right?
Dog, the world at the end. Where the hell are you?
Nowhere to be found.
He took his pager off.
Yeah, well, the issue for me, well, not it's so much issue because it was a lot to process. Did y'all realize that they killed off all the important people?
Listen, did you like the Avengers? Yes or no?
No, I'm gonna get into that. I want to know. Did y'all realize like all of the important people in that film are gone?
a good amount of the people,
Allegedly.
a good amount of the people who left have upcoming sequel movies.
Well, yeah. So to answer your question, The Big Perm, I love the movie. I thought it was well written, amazingly done. I liked how they jumped straight into, the Narak, I think the name of the ship is. Let me get my shit together. Where they jumped straight into the ship where Thanos already got them, and it's already starting. I like that they didn't build up, because I think that the movie would have lagged more had they, had to have all these people come together really quickly and give story. I think it just would have been long. I like that they got straight to the shits.
Also, I liked how they kept for each scene that had, like, for example, the Guardians of the Galaxy versus when they were in Wakanda. I liked how they kept the tone of those individual movies. Like for Guardians of the Galaxy, they made it had a lot of humor to it in those scenes. And then even with Wakanda, like they still kept the tone of like the African style theme with it. So I like that with each character that they brought in the specific scenes, the tone, and the style that they did with those individual movies. They still kept it with those scenes.
Yeah.
What do you think happened to the character Valkyrie? I meant to ask that. You remember Valkyrie?
Yeah.
No.
What do you? All right, so Valkyrie.
I was asleep during 80%.
Oh,
of the
yeah, I
movie.
No,
forgot.
you didn't watch Thor Ragnarok?
I slept through that too.
Okay, so
Oh,
at
you're
the,
like-
I mean, but at the end, Thor's sister basically dies, or supposedly dies, and that Valkyrie, she was a former, she's a Valkyrie soldier for that. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not. It's 2 hits.
You are the nerds. You have to guide us.
You got to
through all
guide
of
us through it. But like, okay, so
we are the casual lookers.
All right, so I'll read you guys my notes. So the question that we asked is, where's Valkyrie? So I found something online. So I'll read it to you guys.
Perfect.
It says Infinity
There you go.
War opens up with Thanos and the Black Order.
True.
Have already attacked Thor's ship, containing the universe's last surviving Asgardians. While there's a brief mention that half of the ship's passengers managed to escape, there's quite a bit of confusion as to where Valkyrie is. Valkyrie is the woman that is in Thor's last movie, and she pretty much helps Thor try to figure out everything, right?
I'm aware.
So after that, they pretty much then say, the Russo brothers then says, well, they're going to bring her back.
so she's on the second ship.
Correct. She's on the second ship. Prior to, if you remember, as the movie opens up, their ship's departing very, very quickly, and then it cuts straight to Thor getting choked the fuck out by Thanos.
Yeah.
On those ships, there are still Asgardians left. Thanos believes that all the Asgardians are dead.
But
The
they're
only
not.
ones that are left are Thor and what's his brother's name?
Low-key.
Low-key, right? Now, mind you, if you remember, Low-key all throughout this time has been working for Thanos. That's how he gets introduced to this whole cinematic universe. He's sent from Thanos to go and get the one of the Infinity Stones that's in the staff, right? So fast forwarding, because I know this is all geek shit. You don't care about this, but long story short, I thought the movie was amazing. I didn't think that many people were gonna get killed off, and again, spoiler alert: it's about 17 people that die. And I want to lead back to your comment as far as
Put him back on.
as far as them gentrifying.
Come on, Chris. We're not trying to spoil it for you.
Yeah, word. I'm trying to go back, but to the gentrification of Wakanda, I was a little mad that Wakanda had such a big movie, and then they just killed him. Like y'all couldn't let him live just a little bit.
And they had to go and fight and
Listen,
fuck
man.
up Wakanda. Of all places, you guys went and fought on Wakanda.
Yeah, like why that gang beef had to come on Wakanda's grounds? Like, damn, that turf war couldn't stay someplace
Wakanda was
else.
such a sacred place. It was all good such a week ago. It's just
Word.
like we had the #1 movie. We had the red carpets. We had our own thing. Everyone was getting all dressed up. Then
Yo.
we got to like 300 million. Then we got to 700 million. breaking all these records.
That's why Michael B. Jordan was upset. Did you see that tweet where someone was like, "Yo, I said Wakanda forever to Michael B. Jordan. He just ignored me." That's probably why he was mad. Because everyone dies off.
Gotta be a little salty. That's all I'm saying. And now Avengers is out, and now they have all the records. And I don't know. Do you think Avengers is better than Black Panther?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's kind of difficult to answer that because that's like asking like, is a compilation better than a single? Like,
wait a minute. You think Black Panther's a compilation?
No. What I'm saying is Avengers is a compilation of every single character, while Black Panther specifically focused in on one narrative. Avengers takes that one narrative and it's like it's everyone else's individual movie combined into it. I think that's kind of hard because it's like in Black Panther, you're focused specifically on his story only. Yeah, while Avengers is like it's everyone's freaking story. You have to tie in everyone's aspect, and it's just I don't know. I just think it's a little bit harder in terms of saying. I don't know.
If I'm going off my favorite Marvel movies, I'll give you my top right now. I do have. I think I want to put Infinity War
in your 5.
In my 5. So I got Infinity War. I have Black Panther. I have Deadpool. I have Logan. And
5 is a tough one.
Yeah, my 5th one's a tough one. I don't know. Because it can make a break. That Venom movie looks crazy.
You said Civil War? Did you say Civil War?
No.
I didn't say Civil War.
Civil War was pretty good.
Civil War was amazing. But I just don't know. I'm waiting just because, and that's why I was telling you guys didn't hear this obviously, but I was talking about the release dates that are coming out. You still have Black Phoenix movie coming out, Jean Grey. You still have the New Mutants movie that's coming out. You still have what else?
Deadpool 2, which is coming up.
Which mind you, Deadpool is one of my favorite movies.
When is Deadpool supposed to be dropping?
That drops May 18th. Deadpool was one of my favorite movies out of this whole shit. I just don't know if I'm gonna put part 2 over part 1. Part 1 for me was genius, and I think Ryan Reynolds is the perfect Deadpool.
Great.
I love that they gave him a second chance because the first time he played Deadpool, he was horrible, but he didn't have any lines. So how could he, how could he really be himself? I like that now him being him. And I love their marketing rollout for him as well.
Oh, it's really good.
The gags, the pokes at the contractual bidding wars between Fox and Marvel. Yeah. I love all of that. I think it's dope. I think it's genius. So he's definitely my top. But I'm really curious to see what they do with the Venom movie, and I'm really curious to see what they do with Deadpool too.
Then they got Captain Marvel.
But you enjoyed Black Panther more than you enjoyed Avengers.
I got it equal. And the only reason I say equal is because the shock value for me, how they did it. Like how all these people got killed, how they all came together.
It was the villain that actually won in the end.
I wasn't mad. Yeah, like that was the thing. Like it's the first time where you've seen all of these superheroes fucked up in the game. Like they don't know what to do.
They worked really hard to keep that glove closing.
And keeping it a buck, when Spider-Man goes and he's holding fucking Iron Man is like, I don't want to, like, real nigga almost shed some thug tears, man. I'm going to keep it a buck. Yeah. I was in there like, oh, man.
But I think that what makes that even better is the suspense. Like, we all know that it's not over. Right. I think for us, it's like, okay, what's the next step in that series, in that sequence? But of course, it's like, it's it's kind of like, It's interesting too because it's like you have obviously the next Avengers that's going to be coming out. Yeah. But then also you have, for example, like I said, where the hell was Ant-Man? You have his stories coming up. Well, then you also have like people like Gambit, people like other people that were like, where were they? Yeah. So I think what makes this Marvel series like amazing is the ongoing suspense, and that in order to understand what happened in a previous movie, you have to understand what happens in the upcoming movie, and then to understand what happened in the upcoming movie, you have to understand what you saw in a previous movie. And it's like the puzzle of the pieces are like all over. And that's what I really liked about it, because there's times where I was watching Avengers Infinity War and I was like, oh wait, I remember this segment or this talked about moment in the last movie, or this is not, or even like in the Spider-Man movie, the more recent one, at the end where they had that press conference where they were going to announce him as part of the Avengers, but then he was like, nah. And then I was like, oh, wow, I remember that part, Iron Man. Like, it's just, I think that's
Well, that's the
dumb.
crazy shit. Because I'm such a geek, I went back and watched all of the alternate
Did you watch it in the
endings.
order that they said that you're supposed to?
And there's 19 deleted scenes. I went and watched all of them. And they,
Yo, that's crazy.
yeah, no, I'm a geek. I'm a geek. I went and watched
I just
them
want to
back.
make sure you know that that's
Yeah, I know.
crazy.
Well, growing up, again, like I still have comic
Not
books.
for sure.
Like I still
We
have
all
them-
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still have them encased in my parents' home, like in plastic. And if you're smart, you'll know why, because they're worth money.
'Cause you're gonna
But
sell them.
even outside of that, I wouldn't. I want to pass them down to, like, if I have kids, or if my nephews, like,
And they're going to sell them.
yeah, and I'll kill them. Yeah, let me be clear.
Exactly what
Yeah,
they're
word.
gonna
To my nephew, if you listen to this in the future,
Yeah.
if you sell any of those comic books, I will haunt you for the rest of your fucking life. Okay. But I just think that, holistically, that movie was just done perfectly. Like, to me, Marvel smash hits, and while all of those movies have done extremely well and and are extremely profitable, I think at this point it's undeniable that Black Panther and Marvel Infinity Warfare are like the GOATs of movies right now. Like,
For this year, clearly. Absolutely.
and obviously just for this year, because
Well,
obviously there's still other movies
Go-
coming.
Goats in
Incredibles
what?
2 haven't come out yet.
Well, yeah.
Also,
that's
GOAT
a whole
in-
other thing. I'm a
So,
big Incredibles
everybody
fan.
just
Goat
slow
in
down.
what way too? Because like for example, like I think Deadpool is GOAT in terms of marketing for Marvel
think
movies.
so.
They're the
Definitely,
GOAT for
definitely,
that.
definitely. I
So
agree.
like in what way is Infinity War and also Black Panther GOATs for? Like what specifically?
That's actually a good point. I think cinematography, I think storyline, I think character selection, I think all that played into it, and the buildup. I think, like, I think while Deadpool, that franchise does a really good job of marketing and positioning themselves, with witty jabs at contractual agreements and stuff like that. I think the whole, all of those movies as a whole were the stepping stone, and they didn't really have to do too much for Avengers. Like, I thought it was great that nothing leaked. Like, normally something leaked. Like, I had already seen like the first two scenes that leaked with Deadpool or X-Men or something. With Infinity Warfare, nothing leaked outside of just one clip of you seeing Thanos walking through in the beginning, but that already happened in the past two movies when he goes and grabs the ring.
Give me your conspiracy theory after this Thanos stuff. What do you think is going to happen after this?
All right, so this is what I think happens.
mark this time though.
Yeah, this is what I think happens. So number one, there's a part in the beginning of the movie. So do you remember when who is it? I think it's all right. So Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange talks about the Infinity Stones and how each one of them work. If you're following the whole cinematic universe, right? There's a part where he talks about, and I think it's the what stone is that? Whatever stone that controls time. I can't remember.
Is it just a
Time.
Time
Time stone. It was said that
We got it.
the time stone can only be used in an alternate universe that's already created. And if you're not in that alternate universe that you've created with that time stone, you can create a ripple and create another pretty much doppelganger universe.
Oh, I see where
So
you're
I
going.
think what happened is when Vision gets killed and Thanos uses the stone to bring Vision back to then kill him again, I think
That was ill,
creates,
though.
Yeah, he bodied that. Because I was like, oh man, they did it. They saved this. They saved the world. And
I
was
said,
like,
nope.
And he said, nope, yeah, bring that ass right on back.
I was like, shit.
Yeah, I was mad as fuck. I said, why the fuck did we kill him?
I don't know.
But nevertheless, I think once that happened, I think it created an alternate universe. And that's why you see everyone start to fade away. And while Thanos snaps his finger and kills everyone, I don't think that they're dead. Now, that's one theory I have.
So they go into the alternate universe.
They go to the alternate universe. That's one theory I have. The other theory that I have is, and this one I
You
have
got a lot of theories.
I do. I'm a geek. So the other...
you just newly introduced. We do theory time here on the podcast.
Yeah,
Theory
we have,
time.
We have theory time
We
on
have
the
theory
podcast.
time. Every episode, we basically have a theory.
I love theory time.
So wait, where's my other theory? The other theory I read is
While you're searching for that,
search for that.
Erin, do you think that DC is feeling some type of pressure from Marvel?
Oh yeah, of course
on
they
the movie
are.
front.
I think they are. I think
Because what movies does does DC have coming up?
isn't it Aquaman coming up?
Yeah, Aquaman, the Cyborg, Aquaman Cyborg, Flashpoint, which I think would be really. I think that's probably going to be their biggest movie.
Flash?
Yeah, Flashpoint. If they do it right, that's only if they do it right. Flashpoint in DC is a huge storyline because that alters everything. You know about
Justice
characters.
League Part 2, Green Lantern, Untitled Batman Project.
Batman.
They also, I'm assuming they're probably gonna have another Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman was really good.
Yeah.
Shazam. They got one called Shazam.
I can't roll with DC.
Okay, there it is. That's my theory.
DC is like the Adidas of comic books, really, in my eye.
But
That's disrespectful. I got on.
no,
Bruce.
but saying that though, like Adidas, like with the Yeezys and stuff, they kind of resurrected themselves.
You
in
still
a
gonna
different
wear
lane.
Yeezys?
100%. I can separate the buffoonery of Kanye and his. I like the shoe. I like the sneaker.
So you can't be mad. You can't be mad at R. Kelly then.
I can. And second of all, I didn't buy any of R. Kelly's kicks. But the other thing is, number two is, I spent a lot of fucking money on my Yeezys. Mama told me not to waste money. I ain't gonna be wasting money. I don't care. I'm gonna still be fresh with my Yeezys.
Well,
The reselling market is going to tell us all we need to know about this Kanye West thing.
Well, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest, I know we're sidetracking to the audience, but there's been a drop in like you used to be able to flip Kanye sneakers pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Those new mud rats are going for like $242, which is crazy. Which is
Anybody
crazy.
can get those.
But nevertheless, so
Anyway.
let's get back on track with my other thing. So the Soul Stone, Gamora goes into the Soul Stone and is seemingly killed, and that's why Thanos was saying when they asked, what was it worth or whatever, where he's talking to the younger Gamora. He talks about, what did it cost you? He says everything. The only thing that he really loved was Gamora throughout this entire thing, even more than the Infinity Stones. So I think also that they all may be trapped in the Soul Stone. I think the only people that really died is Gamora, Vision, and I always forget Thor's brother's name. That's a damn shame. Low-key. I think those are the only people that really died. And I'm not spot on, but just trying to pull data together and looking at the Russo brothers and their recent interview, I think that I'm on to it. It's either A, they're stuck in the Soul Stone, or B, the Time Stone, they created an alternate universe.
Hey, Erin, when's the last time you were stuck in a Soul Stone?
oh man, during this Kanye stuff,
Damn.
definitely felt like I was stuck in the Soul Stone with that.
I gotta give you some dap though. You're real. This little Marvel thing. You need to cut a whole nother.
There's layers to it.
You are in the game, my brother.
I could go on. For
I thought
hours.
I was ill. You're ill, bro.
I could go on for hours. To the people. I'm a geek when it comes to all this shit. All this Marvel. Like I was a kid running around with a fucking towel tied to my neck, falling downstairs, talking about I was Superman.
Were you into wrestling at all?
I was into wrestling, and then I grew up and.
When did you grow up? After Rock or what?
No.
If we gonna go nerd, might as well go all the way nerd. If we going.
So if we going nerd,
Steve Austin.
You watch wrestling?
I watched a little more during like the Stone Cold Steve Austin Rock, kind of like that when I was younger as a kid.
What were you into when you were coming up? What was your thing that you were watching when you were growing up?
I watched a lot of football, sports mostly.
Sports?
Also, I was into video games. Like I was very like heavily into like the Resident Evil series.
I liked
What
you for a
else?
reason.
There were several series that I was heavily into because like my brother and I were really big on video games because like my stepdad was one of the first creators for video games, and so like we've had every single video game system since the first one.
That's nice little
And
flex.
so
You think
That's a nice little
you think he give me an Xbox? Like,
well,
what the
no,
fuck?
I mean we
holding
got
out.
it. We obviously we got it 'cause we
Damn.
asked for Christmas, but like my brother and I were very much into like Resident Evil, Halo. You know, I even personally
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I even personally got into Gears of War.
I ain't gonna lie. Erin been the plug the whole time, and
whole
I'm
time.
going to GameStop getting raped. Hey fam, check this out. I'm gonna need some help. All right.
I'm mad you still going to GameStop. GameStop is trash.
Listen, I'm loyal. I'm brand loyal.
They don't get.
But
when
I
was
was-
the last
yeah,
time you got good service in GameStop?
I get great service from there, especially my bonus rewards. That shit adds up.
I mean, now, funny enough, now I just purchased like all the game systems. Pretty much, you can buy games on the
yeah,
online
that's what I do
system.
now.
So that's what I do now.
I don't know, but
I'm
the
like, a new
fans
game
don't care
came out?
about this shit. Fucking. So I mean, I guess that's our episode for today.
That's our nerd segment.
Yeah, that's our nerd.
Yo,
segment, our
we
theory
should do
segment.
we should do a Twitch session with our fans, like playing a video game with our fans.
That'd be fire. Yeah, tell us what you think about that. Do you guys want to
They
be
ain't
our
ready
friends on
for it.
video
Depending on
games?
what game, they ain't ready for it. Yo, no, I used to be nice with certain games. I'm telling you right now.
Let me be. Yeah,
I
let
was
me be clear.
nice. I was in.
What was your game? 007? Remember 007?
No, yeah. My brother and I did that. GoldenEye, Nintendo. I was part of a group. We were really good. I was part of a group in the Gears of War series. Like we
You
were
don't want no
nasty.
smoke.
We did group competitions and stuff like that. I did that. Guitar Hero, I was nasty with. My cousin was actually at one point in the top 15 for Guitar Hero.
Yeah, let me be clear. I will smoke you like pot. I get busy in Gears of War.
I'm not playing no Fortnite. We playing Gears of War, Halo.
Yeah, I play.
That's
Yeah,
what we
I play
playing.
the real shit. Yeah, kids got it fucked up. They play this Fortnite shit. I tried
I
playing that
never
shit. the other-
played Fortnite. How was it?
Check this out. So my nephew came over to my house.
We're nerding out, everybody.
Yeah, we're nerding out. Fuck
Yeah.
it. And this is normally our
We out here.
pass here. But look, so my nephew comes over to my house and he's like, "Hey, Uncle Brandon, do you have Fortnite?" So I said, "Hey, man, what the fuck is Fortnite?" So he goes,
That's some old man shit.
It's a game.
Tell me, Billy.
You
What
don't
is
know.
Fortnite?
My nephew is very intelligent. He's 9, but he talks to you like he articulates himself very well.
Yeah.
So he'll say, "Uncle Brandon, that doesn't really make sense. You really need to rethink that." So I talk to him like he's a grown man. So I say, "What the fuck are you talking about, Quincy? What are you talking about?" So he's like, "Fortnite. You don't know what Fortnite is?" So now I feel dumb because I don't know what the game is. No, shut up, Chris. I don't know what Fortnite is. So I
you know what Fortnite is.
I go and fucking download this game.
Trying to lob him one.
And this kid is getting busy. Like, he's getting busy on the game. So I'm hating. So I'm like, I could play this.
Yeah.
I play Call of Duty. And I play all this
Oh
other
yeah,
stuff.
Call of Duty's the one too.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how bad I got washed on Fortnite?
Yeah.
Them kids are different
It's not a
on
game.
there.
It's not a game.
Like some little kid from Arkansas came on. It's like, fuck you and stay out of my cabin. I'm like, whoa, like, fam. All right, you got it. I don't want no beef. So shout out to the Fortnite players.
Oh, you know another one? My brother and I used to play Metal Gear.
Metal Gear is my
That
favorite
was the
game.
shit.
Let me be
Solid.
clear.
Yo.
Metal Gear Solid is my favorite.
Metal
Shout out to
Gear
Konami.
yes.
I wish that y'all.
Shout out to Konami.
Yeah, I wish y'all ain't fuck up a great franchise and y'all beefing. And now I can't
Yo.
ever play the last Metal Gear because I don't know when I'll ever get another Metal Gear.
Honestly,
So-
Metal Gear and Resident Evil were one of my favorite video game series stories.
Yeah,
Those
definitely.
two were one of my
Metal
favorite.
Gear, Splinter Cell, God of War.
Yes.
If y'all haven't played that,
Yes.
God of War, the recent God of War is amazing. It is amazing.
And then
But-
what else? There's
all right, I
one
can't
more.
let y'all
We
know.
out here, the
Yeah,
nerd,
I'm too
baby.
much of a nerd.
Who cares? Who cares? This is our podcast. Whatever.
Nah, I'm
There's
revealing
one
too
more.
much about myself.
There's one more. Shit, there's one.
What's another one?
Is Grand Theft Auto, why you thinking, is Grand Theft Auto the greatest video game ever made?
It's definitely up there.
It's up there.
definitely
Just
up there.
because you're allowed to do.
What's the best then? What's the greatest game you've ever played?
I'm telling you. Well, yeah.
Super Mario 1?
Yeah, I mean, if we
The first one?
Well, I
That's
think
so
the whole.
hard.
There's
I
always
think.
a debate between that one and number 3.
Well, also, I think it's the series in general with Super Mario. Like in Mario, that's like even like Mario Kart was also that was mad
Yeah, you
competitive.
definitely don't want
that
no
was
smoke
mad
with the
competitive.
God in Mario Kart.
I get busy.
I got busy. I would be
We'll
like
see.
dropping the
Metal-
banana
metal-
peel and everything.
Listen,
Everything.
Metal Mario with the go-karts, with the tennis ball wheels, you don't want no smoke. I'm telling you right now, you don't want no smoke. All right,
Oh,
listen,
man.
we about to go play that shit. Want to thank you guys for tuning in.
That was great. I had a good
Check
time.
us out. Thank you to our friend, guest,
Yes.
Jeremy
for
St.
having
Louis,
me.
a.k.a. Werm, a.k.a. The Big Perm, for
Yeah.
having a great conversation with us today.
Yeah.
Check us out, Grassroots Pod, and that's on Instagram, Twitter. We are on YouTube. Subscribe. We have a...
Why is that always hard to say?
SoundCloud.
Subscribe.
We're also on
I
Anchor.
can't pronounce anything.
We're also on Anchor,
Why don't you
too.
just say subscribe one time?
I
Subscribe.
And second,
Subscribe.
All right.
Well, no, also
Are you
tell
guys
them. To also tell them. I just added us on that new app, Anchor. So
Oh
our
yeah, we're
podcast
on
is
Anchor.
on
Yeah,
there,
we're on Anchor
too.
now. We're on Anchor now. Shout out to Anchor. Definitely check us out on there, and then also check in the YouTube. As always, Group Me chat is forever growing. Thank you to those guys. We always talk to them. I got to do a better job of that too. I've been slacking. Sorry guys, if you're listening. Well, you should be listening. All right, it's getting weird. After that. Thank you guys. Drop us some notes. I want to know a few things. Number one, name your games. Name your top 5 games, because that's important. Number 2, name your top 5 Marvel movies, because that was a good question by you. And then give us your thoughts if you've already seen Infinity War. Were you shocked at these people dying? Were you not? Let us know what you think.
Shout out to all the nerds out there.
Yeah, shout out to nerds. I'm happy we had a nerd.
Like the
segment.
real nerds. I go to Comic-Con, dress up, the nerds, the real nerds.
Shout out to the nerds.
We're all nerds here.
We all are
We're all
nerds.
nerds.
I don't dress up though. You ever dress up?
No, I'm too cool
I
for
haven't
that
done
shit.
that
You ain't
yet.
never cosplay?
Nah.
No.
Unless
then you're like, okay, then you're like nerd, but you're like right under.
Yeah, unless I'm making naughty scenes.
Well, there's different
cult.
there's different levels. There's
sex
there's
cult.
My
different,
sex
You're a
cult.
superhero sex cult?
Yeah.
there's different levels to nerds
I'm
though.
Daddy Diggler.
There's video game nerds.
Is that your
there's tech
superhero
nerds.
sex name?
Yeah. I sling magical penis. That's-
Wait,
No, all right, never mind. I'm telling you guys
what?
too much.
Aaron,
Listen,
was that your AIM username?
No, that's his R.Kelly sex cult
that's a
name.
wild.
Yo, if your aim was anything with daddy in it,
Fam,
yeah,
hold on.
all the way to
That starts a whole nother.
Aaron, yo, shut up, yo. What's that your aim
I'm
name?
done with y'all. I'm
What
Brandon
was your aim
Killabh,
name?
y'all.
What was your aim name?
That's Erin Ashley Simon.
What was your aim
That's
name?
Jeremy St. Louis. We out. We out.
Peace.